If PuTTY is your SSH client of choice, you may want to adjust some of the options in order to make it a bit more usable. If not more usable, at least nicer to look at. So go ahead and open PuTTY. The best thing to do is to change your default settings, and that way any sites you create will be using those settings and you won't have to set them individually for each session. The first thing I always do is I turn off the scroll bar. This is optional. I mean, pretty much everything I tell you is in this video is optional, but I'm so used to using the shift page up and page down like I'm at the console that the scroll bar just takes up a little bit of extra space on the screen, and it's really not needed. Now you will want to adjust your lines of scroll back. This allows you to go further back in the console log or the session, and I'm going to change that to 2000. The bell, when you hit backspace a lot out of frustration or necessity, it'll make a sound and it gets really annoying. So I go ahead and I change this to visual bell, where it just flashes the window instead of making a sound. Now one thing you may have noticed is that if you're using kind of a dim monitor or a poor quality monitor, if you do a directory listing and your directories are blue, it can be really hard to read. So what I do is I select ANSI blue right here and I go ahead and I change this to 255. And that'll make those directories that show up in blue or other blue text a lot more readable. And I always have to enable X11 forwarding because I use a lot of GUI apps and I need the display sent back to me over SSH. Once you've modified everything that you want to change, go ahead and go back to session, click on default settings, and click save. Now any sites you create after that will be using the same settings. I'll go ahead and make one here. I'll save it and I'll say open. And now that I'm logged in, I will do a directory listing. You can see there's a lot more readable in that blue text. If I hit backspace a lot, my window just flashes instead of making that awful dinging sound. And like I said, it may not be important to you, but I get rid of that scroll bar and I just use my shift page up and page down to look at what's been in the log.